And it's your cue, Ed. Go ahead, just go for it. Good.
What's up? Good morning, Friday. What is it, Friday? It's Friday, right?
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? This is Ed tuning in with Gigi. We're just kind of waiting for our dear friend Israel. Welcome to our Friday session of Let's Stay Unwrapped. So I am glad to be here. Gigi, how was your week? How was
Is
your
that?
week? It was good.
It was busy, crazy. Is that a new name? Really, still unwrestled? I thought it was unwrapped. It was
I
naked.
said unwrapped. I think you
Okay.
misheard. I said unwrapped. Put
And
it in
you
the
know
comment
what?
box if you guys heard unwrapped or unwrestled, because that was new. That one is
Let me
new.
say hi to everybody on
Yes.
Facebook. Good morning, people. All right.
No comments.
You know what we're missing? We're
What are
missing
we missing?
theme
Yeah.
song to start the show. We're like our
That's good.
production is really minimal.
You know what song hit me today because it's Friday?
Yeah.
Remember that
Yeah.
song? Remember that song with
Your mic is a little bit scratchy. Let's see if we can adjust
oh,
that.
how's that?
Right?
Is this better?
Yeah, much better.
Perfect.
For some reason let me start. So today we are discussing hosting high impact open houses, and I'm showing some sort of it wasn't a fly, it was some I'm not not fighting with the wind. High impact open houses. All right. And
Israel's here.
let's start with
Ooh.
it is important to host open houses, in your opinion, in your humble opinion, Ed. I want to get, because I'm doing open houses as a seller's agent, listing agent. So that's, one way to attract, especially a lot of people. Like
Hey, Gigi.
yeah.
I'm breaking news. Israel in the house. Israel's house.
Is in our house. Let me just go down because my screen is in the car. Here it is.
What?
Hey, what's going on, everyone?
What's up,
How is
brother?
everything?
Good.
Good.
So
So let's start up, right? I guess we're already in. Let's discuss the importance of hosting an open house in this market, because we're gonna have to debunk a lot of myths. A lot of people believe that open houses are useless. Let me see if I have my screen up. Do we guys see my screen?
Yes.
So small. Okay, I need to get back up. Okay, very good. So, Ed, you want to start?
Ooh, the importance of the hosting an open house. I mean, nowadays, look, we have the pandemic that's still, I guess, around us. So there are a lot of steps that we have to take when we are hosting an open house. We have to be safe. We have to be clean. Everything has to be sanitized. So I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think there's a lot more preparation that takes place in today's open house than it used to, maybe a little over a year ago. What do you guys think?
Yeah, but I think it's number one point for me, aside from the preparation, which anyway, you want to make sure like everything is safe for the public and safe for the sellers and so on and so forth. But that's probably the easiest way to get face to face with people that are interested in purchasing. If you're an agent, whether you're a selling agent or listing agent, number one reason to hosting open houses is that, right?
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Right. Even though people are going to say, on hi, Olga, I'm just having Olga Savelov just come in the office. Olga, you want to say hi to everybody on Facebook? You want to come? Come, say hi. She's shy. Look, she's passing.
Oh, there she goes. Hi, Olga.
Hello, Olga.
Only 5,000 people watching. No, I'm joking.
Holy moly.
No.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
But what do you think, Israel? I mean, as far open houses go, I mean, there's a lot more preparation that we have to put into action now, right? What do
I
you
agree.
think?
Yeah, I agree. It starts from day one. I mean, you have a whole entire week worth of preparations, things that you need to do. It's an event that you're inviting so many people to go to, right? And like any events, you have to worry about not only security and safeties, but like the COVID. You want to make sure that everybody is COVID compliant, safety wise. That that you allow your brokerage, your friends and families know that you're doing an open house
Mhm.
for safety wise. And there's a lot. I agree with in 1,000%. I agree that there's a lot that one needs to do. But open houses are can be fun. They can be fun. They could be boring. I let's just put that out there. True, but they can be fun, right? And you do get a good percentage of people who are looking to buy a home.
Right.
So I'm a fan of open houses. I don't mind
Right.
doing open
I mean,
houses.
not only that, getting buyers to come and check your house, but more importantly to me, you always get like a neighbor who's a homeowner and potentially a seller. And that's a good way for them to see how you work. I got a couple of listings from having actually you and I is right. We got a listing when
Yes.
the buyer came to an open house.
Ooh,
Yes,
Yes.
we did last year. Yeah, actually it's almost 2 years ago. Yes, we did.
Yeah,
wow,
you're
very
right.
nice.
Almost 2 years ago.
And
Yeah.
how we were working, and we just got the listing and sold our apartment, and it was not even in the same building. She went to see another, like in another building, and she just once we did the follow-up, we just got the appointment, and that's how we got the listing.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's all about being professional and all about being, showing the other sellers,
Yeah.
how well you can actually get more people into the doors and get them sold as quick as possible.
Yeah, and the number one big reason for me is if you're a new agent and you're going to help the listing agent with the open house, whether you're going to conduct it yourself, by yourself, or with that listing agent, or paired with another agent, it allows you to get leads galore. Okay.
Yes.
We had an open house last weekend with a couple of the agents on our team, and I believe we had 200 people walking. We had 6.5 sheets of open house sign in.
Wow.
It was insane. So yes, it does work. There are good things about open houses, right?
Well, let's discuss it. I
Definitely.
mean, honestly, what makes a real impactful open house? What do you think, Ed?
Mhm.
I mean, look, as you guys have mentioned it a bit, but I believe that the open is the center stage, right? It's for you to show anybody walking through that door who you are, how you
Right,
conduct yourself, how
right,
you do business, how you communicate, how you showcase. All right,
right,
there's a lot of that involved. The
right,
the things that I feel that people don't see is the marketing end. That's
right,
kind of where they miss out on it. But if you kind of spend some time and looked into the neighborhood to see what the competition was, who was available. I mean, what properties were available. That
Right.
is the tools that you need to put together so that when you that open house, like I said, the stage, just the platform, lights on you, spotlights on you. You open
yeah,
that door, the person coming in, you want to make sure you're the person that they want to work with.
sure,
Whether it's property that they're coming to see or a future property down the road, you want
right,
to make sure that that person wants to work with you. So you walk them through the property. I've gone to open houses, walk, and some people are like, yeah, just go ahead, take the tour. You know what I mean?
right,
Like, let me know if you have any questions.
right,
That's, in my opinion, that's the time for you to shine if you're on the tour with them because you ask them questions, right? Like, questions I like to find out is, hey, you familiar with the neighborhood? They walk in through the door. Are you familiar with the neighborhood? Is this your first
right,
time coming here? If they say, yeah, I'm from the neighborhood, great. I don't really have to spend much time in telling them how good the neighborhood is, where's the train station, where's the buses, their parking is, they're not parked. You know what I mean? So all of that is an effective way for you to now build a relationship as you walk through the house with them. Hey,
yeah,
what
yeah,
brings you to the neighborhood? What do you like about the home? So that's what I like to do whenever
right,
we're conducting the open houses.
right.
What about you,
So
Chief?
yes, so there is that myth that a lot of actually even a train of thoughts in training real
Mm,
estate and that open houses don't benefit the agents, just satisfy the seller. And in this
true.
market, I
Hmm.
beg to differ. It can
Hmm.
satisfy both, right? You have so many
Yes.
people running to, of course, the product has to be attractive to the type of market we're in. We have pockets of market in the market we're in where you're going to have very few people coming to open houses. Again, coming right still in the pandemic or coming out of it. Some properties are not going to be as desirable as others. Like a one-bedroom co-op is not the most favored product right now on the market, right? So houses will have tons of people at the open house. Co-ops will have a lot less, but they still can benefit the agents for getting leads that they can keep on working on, nurture. Some of them, actually, if they're going to open houses because they already have in mind they want to buy, and satisfy the seller by potentially selling at that open house. Okay, like right now, I can tell you the last 3 open houses we have, I can definitely tell you the buyers came from open house.
Yeah.
And we secured the deal right after the open house.
I mean, look, whether it's a house or a condo or a co-op, I mean, at the end of the day, it all has to do with location and it all has to do with pricing. At this time, I think it has come down to pricing. If you want that co-op to sell and get that type of attraction, you have to make sure you price it right. I don't care if this says, oh my God, I want to live for more than that. You have to make sure that you educate them in that and price it right, because if not, you're going to be sitting there at an open house to just one person if you're lucky.
Right. What about the notion that open houses are a security risk?
Ooh.
How do you guys answer that myth? I mean, yes, there is security. We live in, especially in there is a risk walking in the street at any minute. That's for sure. But how would you answer that and debunk that myth? If an open house is posted and held.
Well, there's truth.
You're breaking up a little bit, Israel.
He's on the Jackie Robinson.
There's truth to that, and well, I hope you guys can hear what I'm about to say. Is that it's true because you're opening your house to the public without knowing who the public is, right? You're opening the house to lookers, seers, and actually buyers. So you don't know who's going to walk into the house. You don't know if that person is a looker wanting to stake out the house. You don't know the looker is the person who's actually just trying to stalk you. So the point is that, yes, security-wise, it is important. Are there apps? Are there ways for you to go around this? Are there ways? There isn't a true way of doing it, but there are apps that people can use in order to, be a little bit more secure about doing things. There's this. There's one RSA, which is one of them that's a security way of doing showings.
Right. One secure way too.
And then there's another one called Cleared, which is KLEARD.
Yeah.
Right, and that's another way to do it in an open house, where again adds a little bit of security for you and the person that's walking in. So,
but we have the right.
The point is that yes, security-wise, it can be. Yeah, I hear you.
You're breaking up. I was gonna say, and I guess I know for a fact because I had checked with our real estate board. You are able to ask if you're gonna feel there is a security issue. You're able to ask every single person that is walking in. You ask for their idea, and this is not something illegal to do. All right. Someone just asked, and I'm sorry to cut off Israel because the connection is pretty bad. Someone is asking a house for a rental property. Let me just, I don't know if we see those.
I see the question there. So I would answer yes. Look, if you're getting started and you have so a lot of people start in those. A lot of people say, that's kind of the route to. But if you have a rental, or if you have a listing, or if you have an associate that does have a rental listing, and you can go to them and say, hey, look, I'll do an open house, set it up. You get a list of renters coming through that might be interested in the property or that might not be interested. But again, that's the stage. That's your moment to shine. The light's on you. You have to work with them, build a relationship, and if that's not the place, help them the right one.
Right. And it's good. I mean, you can do an open house. Oh, I have people walking into this office. It's amazing. I left the door open.
Oh my God.
I hope nobody's going to ask me for anything because I can't do anything at all. All right. So I guess we debunked a lot of those myths. I don't want to go on anything, like really like negative notes because there is a lot more positive than negatives. I don't know if you guys agree with me. And I think to make this high impact real estate, open house preparation, like you were talking at the beginning, is essential. And you guys I've witnessed how you've been preparing for open houses and how successful you've been at open houses and were able to secure seller leads along with buyer leads and really have like a banging open house. And I wanted to let you just discuss that. I'm just going to go with the next slide. Preparing for the open house. I'm the best DJ on earth. Hold on a second.
You're welcome.
DJing skills are like, what?
Somebody said thank you.
Let me just hide the comments. And I'm going to go with my banner. Here you go. So, and we're going to add this to the stream, preparing for the open house. I let you guys handle this because my open houses get some preparation. I do stuff, but you guys go a step beyond. And let's just share that with everybody.
Definitely. Israel, you want to kick her? I think it's still lagging.
You can go since my communication is getting a little bad right now. Yeah.
We can hear you. We can hear you. Go for it.
No, we lost him.
Go ahead, Ed. Let's start with what you do to prep for an open house. I want to hear that.
So,
I think,
So, look, I do. I take it a step further. And the reason why I do this is because you guys kind of mentioned in the beginning as far as security risks, as far as being cleansing and sanitized for the property, and again, preparation. So when I encounter on a listing and if they give me the ability to do the open houses, I try to make sure that I'm preparing marketing material before we finally list it, at least 1 week with time. I think if I can share my screen, what I'll do is show you kind of a flyer that I will put together.
Okay. You have the. You tell me when you're ready.
Sharing screen. Okay, well, I'm gonna share screen now. Perfect.
Just make sure you click on the.
Am I on? Can you see my screen? Yes.
Let me add it to the stream. Yes. All right.
No.
So you see.
Okay. You wanna explain a little bit more what you're doing right now?
Yeah. So all right. So what I did from the beginning was this. I actually put out a coming soon letter. So this was a listing that I took on in Hollis. I created this little postcard, and I actually went around and delivered it to all the neighbors before this property was announced.
So let's say something, because you're gonna have a lot of people saying, "Oh my God, we have an executive order from the governor. You can't go to neighbors and solicit." You are not soliciting.
Correct. So there's a fine line, and that's what you have to look at. I have a client looking to sell their home. I asked my client, "Hey, are you okay if I reached out to some of the local neighbors just to go ahead and see if there's anyone they know that is interested in moving into the neighborhood?" So they were okay with it. So that was my I guess my segue. Okay, I put this together and I went ahead and delivered it to the neighborhood. Then the week the listing got dropped, I went ahead and put together these door hangers. Again, what I ended up doing was creating an invitation for the open houses. I'm not soliciting, I'm inviting. Okay, I'm gonna have an open house. Go ahead.
How was the public responding to this, knowing that we're in the middle of the pandemic? And how are the neighbors responding? Did they open the door? Did they?
People were actually more responsive because of what was happening. Come on, think about it. We're stuck at home for the most part, or stuck in a space where we live in and work out of, right? So they're happy to kind of see somebody that would come around and say, hey, how you doing? I don't mean to bother you, but inviting you to an open house. This house is located in the neighborhood. Who do you know that might be interested? And this is what I feather. Now look, this is key.
You read some people may be watching on their phone. This open house is appointment only, and that's for the security factor.
Correct.
Only.
Correct. Also, that's because of the pandemic. So I wanted to make sure that we had people that were securing their appointments that weren't just lookers. These were serious individuals that wanted to purchase. Does that mean everybody's going to get the message? No. I'll be honest. They're not. Okay. Right. So I teased out.
Yeah. Can you share with everybody out there what program you use for those door hangers?
Absolutely. So I actually have it here in Marketplace.
Oh, well, that's for our EXP agents.
Correct. So we have access to our brokerage, thankfully, which is pretty cool, because the other factor of this is once you get a listing and put it out, they actually send you 7 or 8 different type of marketing materials. So you save so much time in having to together marketing. But to get back to it, I'm going to just unshare my name. How do I do this? Stop sharing. Perfect.
Unshare, let me just escape.
And we lost Israel.
We did.
So to sum it all up real quick, how that turned out, again, that was, as you saw, that was listed back in September. So with the open house, like I said, I like to make sure I get people to set up appointments. Yes, people that walk in, they're going to try to get in, but the people that show up, and I'll tell you, I think it was about 44 or 46 people that showed up to these 2-day open house. And for the most part, I would say a lot of them booked appointments, and a lot of them had sent over pre-approvals or proof of funds if they were looking to purchase. Now I had them send over the COVID closures fully signed. And then if they had the pre-approvals, I had them send all that stuff. Some people didn't want to present pre-approvals, and I said, that's fine, but you have to show it once you get to the house. Now, some people might let whoever walk through the door because that's, they want to get everybody in. But honestly,
if the property is vacant, I don't, because it's an open house, because it's easier. I mean, what is not easy is if you have 200 people, like actually Donnie, who is watching right now, could vouch for us. 200 people who are 3 agents in a single family home. What we had to do was to make sure everybody signed in. Not everybody was challenged to get all the disclosures signed because of the amount of people we had, and making sure that there aren't too many people in the house. But also we wanted to make sure everybody would see the house. So that was a challenge. But things I do, and I don't know if you've done it, we've sent emails to neighbors by inviting them, and you can use those programs where you're going to get like neighborhoods, phone addresses, phone numbers, home phones, cell phones, and emails. So then you collect the emails and just can send emails to people around. Yes, there might be 1,500 emails, 2,000 emails, but you never know. You're going to just send an invitation, no solicitation. I've had people saying simply, please taking me off the list. Yes, we'll do it. Not a problem. You're not interested in receiving anything? You have the right to unsubscribe. And we do this through our contact management software, which is called KV Core, which is to me a super powerful tool.
100%.
Since I haven't been door knocking, time permitting, but now and also the weather, but I think it's okay to go invite neighbors. You keep your distance. Israel is back in. Let me just bring him to the stream. Israel,
I'm back.
What's up?
He's home.
I apologize.
So we were talking about the prep work for the high impact open house, and I know you also had, and you did it with Ed. It's like with the Three Stooges, we do a lot of things together. You did it with Ed, and
I don't know about Three Stooges, but Three Musketeers.
You guys went door knocking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And yeah, go ahead.
it's, I mean, part of that preparation during that time that we had no lockdown, no nothing,
Correct.
normal
Yeah.
circumstances. Ed and I think we did well almost every other day before the open house. We tried to hit at least 100 doors with 100 flyers in our hands, saying hello to neighbors, introducing ourselves to a neighborhood that we knew nothing about. Right. And actually, getting to know neighbors and securities, let's just call it that for now, the neighborhood watchdogs, right? We got to meet them as well. But we got to meet a lot of people, and seeing how close this community was when we were doing our door knocking. So we got to meet, several sellers during our open houses, and also during our door knocking, we got to meet other sellers as well. So it was pretty fun in that aspect. And it really it's just creating flyers. We did over 300 homes or more than that for 1 week.
Was it about, I think it was more about you and introducing and inviting people than just the flyer. The flyer was just to leave something with the people, right? Would you have been able to do without a flyer?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you could do without the flyer.
Of course you want to have the address,
Right.
It's a good leave behind, I would say.
Huh?
I would say it's a good leave behind.
Yeah.
There you go. That's where I was going to go with that.
Playing devil's advocate. I'm just playing devil's advocate. That's what I'm doing.
I mean, Ed, I don't know if you want to share that story where that person thought that we were window sellers.
Oh man, that was funny, man. I'll tell you real quick. It was interesting because again, we're just kind of introducing ourselves, and we went to this gentleman's house and on his door, introduced ourselves. It was like he was like adamant. He was like, no. And we're like, no to what? No. You guys are trying to sell me windows? Like what? Like what are you talking about? We were just here because we're gonna be doing an open house in a property on XYZ Street right down the block. He's not interested. I'm selling a house. And we were like, Israel and I kind of took it back and we looked at each other and we're like you are? Like where's the sign? Like there was no sign on his lawn saying that his house was for sale. So we were like, all right, look, no big deal. Like he was kind of getting crazy. We left flyer there. We walked away and we kept knocking, right? We probably got what, Israel, maybe midway down the block or a little more. And this same guy drove up, and he parked up right where we were. And in my head, I'm like, Israel's a big guy. I'm not that big, but I was like, this guy really wants to do something. Like, I'm scared.
He's right.
So this guy jumps out the car and he's like, hey guys, you know what? I just want to apologize. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to like come off like that. It was just that, like we have a lot going on. And we're like, man, that's fine. No big deal. We were just inviting you to an open house. He was like, no, look, I really feel that I needed to apologize. Oh man, that was nice. I was not expecting him to do that. Like,
me too.
You know what I mean? Me and Israel were talking about coming back, maybe slashing his stairs. No, I'm kidding.
No. So I just want to add. I don't like this layout. I like this layout better. I just want to add that depending on what township you guys want to host an open house, you may need a peddler's permit or a permit or a license, whatever the township requires. So we're in New York City. When we did in New York City, it's pretty much easier. You still have to make sure you do not solicit anyone on the cease and desist list, and you can have access to the cease and desist list on the Department of State website. I just have to disclose this. You don't want to get into trouble.
Correct.
Of course.
Right?
That makes sense.
So just be careful. And it's, by the way, open house prep could be fun. You're getting your numbers, you're walking around, so you're getting your exercise, you're getting to meet people. You could have a little bit of a scare, but it's fine. If you go with Israel, you're good.
Just go with Israel.
I would not. I think it's good to do it in pairs, not being alone. You want also your security. Yeah. Even as men, you hear all those crazy stories. You don't want to be jumped.
So the advantage of that is that, once you guys have a good script, you're doing it with a pair, you can hit either side of the block and hit more houses that way.
Right.
So,
Very good idea.
This way you'll get as many people into the open house as possible. Because what it is, I mean, when you invite 100 people, you only get what, 50? So the point is to try to invite as many people as possible to come in and see how we do the open houses.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we talked about prepping. Let's talk about conducting the open house. I'm going to share my slide. Application window, Chrome tab. Here you go.
Is it okay to wear sweats then if you're conducting it?
Huh? So
wear
I
sweats?
did this. I took this little picture from a New York Times article on open houses. I thought the picture would have a better definition, and it was late at night. But I like the little drawing. So guys, excuse me for the lack of super production for this video. But let's talk about the actual plan of action when you are at the open house and how you're conducting the open house.
Okay. Well, one of the first things I do is before laying out all the disclosures and all the paperwork on the table and figuring out my staging area is turning every single light that's in the house and opening up every single window, not leaving one shade down, every single window open. Okay.
Oh, so all the shades up, yes.
Everything. And make sure that it's wherever you're walking, that it is walkable. Because if you're able to walk, then your buyers or your potential buyers, or your potential person, even your lookers, can walk through the home and feel, a good energy in the house. And then towards the end, once you're done, that should take normally, I try to be there at least 20 minutes before the open house. Once that's done, then I put out all the disclosures that I need and my cards and so on and so forth.
But what about interaction with the public? Because lately I kind of feel bad because we had so many people that all I was doing was crowd control and COVID-19 safety requirement, and it was I felt compelled to even apologize to visitors about my just directing them this way. You walk this way, you're not going there. I'm sorry you can't. You just have this way. This is the in, this is the out.
That's what you have the whistle and the lights, the glow stick.
I had
a bullhorn too, right?
Yeah. So let's talk about
Look, honestly, I'll tell you right now. What were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
Let's put in that nice little question. What is the best attire for conducting an open house? A bathing suit.
What?
You're gonna wear a
birthday suit.
Sweat. Be as comfortable as possible. No, I'm kidding.
No,
I'm kidding.
Don't do that. Don't any of that.
It's nice to, by respect for your home seller and everything, and yourself and the public out there. I think I think
the best answer I give, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Gigi. I think the best answer to give is this: the less should be a business casual look.
Casual, yes.
Right. The most should not be as close as a tux. So in other words, you shouldn't be wearing a ball gown for it, right? You should wear business outfits because it is a business situation.
Yes.
But the most comfortable you should go there is business casual. Right. That's pretty much how I see it.
In situations where we've been running around lately, I advise wearing comfortable shoes. So ladies, your Louboutin have to stay in the closet because
you know Louboutin makes men's shoes too.
I do know. Okay, I know. But I was saying, ladies, we like the Louboutin. We like the,
Okay, some of those Louboutin shoes are good for the men's too. They
are. But let's wear comfortable shoes. Because you're gonna be running up and down, and it's not a fashion show, but you want to be dressed business.
Honestly, look, the way I look at it is take your eyes off of yourself for a moment and put your eyes in the seller's head, right? What does that mean exactly? I mean the seller. If you're representing the seller at that point, not so much the buyer. Forget the buyers coming in. You want to make sure that you're as you put yourself forward, you want to make sure that you feel like this person is representing you and your property correctly. So that's how you would look at it.
Right.
Yeah,
So
I
let's
say
talk
both.
about, yeah.
I only say both because it runs into that point of what happened in one of the open houses where you may run into another seller.
Right.
So you're
So,
not you're giving out that first impression to everyone else. So
oh, sure.
that's part of it too. But when conducting it, I mean, honestly, what questions should you ask? What questions do you guys ask throughout that process?
I had a question for you because here is the dilemma. I don't do it because usually when I work for my seller, I work for my sellers, but I've seen at open houses when I think it's perfectly okay. I'm not judging anything. I think it's okay too. Where you would have a real estate agent that would have flyer for the home and then available homes in the area that are similar to what the actually is being presented that day at the open house. How do you feel about showcasing other listings that may not be yours?
Some sellers might not be happy if they walked in an open house, saw you showcasing somebody else's listings, and
I've
then they
seen
can
it.
tell you and say, "Hey, I thought I hired you to sell my property. The heck are you advertising these guys' properties?" You know what I mean? So it is a fine. I think it shouldn't so much be advertised that way. I think if you're hosting an open house for somebody else, yes, you talk to them, but in your mind, you know what's available on the market, what property is similar, what the price ranges are. So if that house doesn't work, I don't think you should say, "Hey, XYZ Street is on the market for 699. I mean, I think they're priced out pretty." No, you don't have that conversation. Hey, listen, how do you feel about this? Do you like this house? Do you want to move forward? Would you like to place an offer? No?
Yeah.
Okay, no big deal. Maybe I can help you find another property. Are you interested in this
And then I
area?
would get
Let's
the
have that
follow-up.
conversation later.
At the follow-up. Okay. No, I just had to point it out because, and I please, Facebook watchers or our audience, please don't hesitate to ask questions. Those are like really important. There are no wrong questions. There are no stupid questions, just stupid people. And please ask away. Don't feel shy. We're there to just give our humble opinion. And again, not an exact science, but we're trying to figure out what are the best practices and the best techniques to have a very successful open house. Yeah. And then talk about the interaction with the people. Do you follow them around, show them stuff, or do you let them do their thing and sometimes just ask questions if you see any interest, or you just say, "Here, just whatever." Just
No, I think if you set it up, if you set it up and you have open houses, for example, if you're doing the open house, like I said, I like to book the appointments, and if you're preparing ahead of time, look, if it's priced right, I was already getting people calling me to schedule the appointments once the listing dropped. It dropped on Monday, and literally Monday afternoon, I was getting calls for appointments, and we were holding all the appointments to leave house that weekend. You know what I mean? So with that in my opinion, you organize it so that you have that already prepared. So in the open house, it's less documents and less of papers flying around because you don't know who anymore. Now, with us, for example, we have an app. We have an open app that we can utilize. I think that is the coolest thing to use right now because people can check in by themselves and they don't have to do one of those squigglies where they're writing their phone number down and it's like, 718-535 squiggly line. You know what I mean? Like it's just a long squiggly. So now they have to put everything in and everything is readable. Now you can read it. So
I
all
have
of that.
Another question. The question is, can I have music? Yes, if it's in the background, you can have candles for actually, Israel had an open house where your home seller had sent it.
I put it on. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. So
touch.
I agree with having music. It allows an ambience. It allows it allows a good feeling of the home.
Yeah.
But the music shouldn't be. It should be soft. It should be like a smooth jazz. It should be a lo-fi. Something small in the sense that it's actually allows them to feel calm as they walk through the apartment.
Right. So Ed, this question is directed to you. What open house app do you use?
Awesome question.
Yeah.
So that
Well, that's what we have with our CRM, KV Core, which allows
called
us to
KV
download
Core
that app.
now.
Yeah.
The thing is, you would have to be a part of that CRM. If I'm not mistaken, if you purchase that, you try to purchase that program with that CRM. I think it's what, like $800 or $1,000 a month or something like that, right?
I think it starts at close to $4. It's an expensive.
Yeah, it's but that would probably be like a basic for what we're doing. I mean, we can go on about what the programs that like we have access to. That's another live.
Right.
But the name of the app is KV Copenhagen. Like I said, you have to have that CRM to use it. So if you have access to it, just download it, log in, and have fun.
No, you're right. You're right. All right, so let's move on. And we're talking about interaction with the public and
yeah. So speaking of that, real quick, I mean, honestly, it goes back to, you know, having them feel comfortable once they walk into the home, you know, and start questioning them, asking for their names. I mean, a person who feels more comfortable once you start having their names and interacting them with their first name, and when you're trying to point out something about the house as you're going through the house, you start asking other questions about, you know, what kind of home are they looking for, how do they feel about this home, how they like the size of the home, how they like the size of the room, you know, are they a person who likes the kitchen, do they like to cook, do they, you know, are they interested in having a smaller room or bigger room, how do they feel about the living room, or do they have a big family, do they feel like they need a big family, I mean, a big family room like this. The point is that it depends on the unit, right? So if it's a studio, one bedroom, obviously most of those questions I won't ask. I would just ask, you know, how comfortable they are, how they feel about the unit, what they like about the unit, what feedbacks can I get out of that, so that if this unit doesn't work out and then I do follow up with them, at least I know how to follow up in the sense of, you know, maybe finding something else for them in the future. However, one of the things that I try to make sure and implement on all my questions is, are you working with another agent?
Yes. And if they're not, do you schedule a consultation?
Absolutely.
Open house for after? Yes. So it's okay to schedule a buyer's consultation at the open house if you see somebody may have an interest on the house or may not, but wants and actively looking.
Yeah, just at the end.
All right.
Just at the end, you just pretty much say thank you for coming by, thank you for taking time. Just know that I'm going to follow up with you later, maybe hopefully today, maybe tomorrow, just to see how you feel about the home, because I'm sure you're going to talk about it later on, and maybe we can, you know, discuss exactly what your real estate goals are.
Right. So we're running out of time. I just wanted to make sure, Ed, you add whatever you need to add.
Last thing to add to that, and look, honestly, because of what's happening now, I always just ask them out right there and then. How do you feel about the house? Like, we finished the tour, boom, I'm walking you out the door. Hey, how do you feel about the property? What are your thoughts? What did you like most? What did you like least? If there was an offer that you wanted to make, what would it be?
Right.
And I feel like once you ask that, they're gonna start to kind of negotiate in their own mind and say, well, do you think seller's open-minded this? Do you think they'll accept that? Why don't we put it together and submit it? You never know.
Cool. So let's say now you're at the end of the open house. I have a slide. I don't even know if I can share it. So wrapping up the open house.
Wrap it up.
Here's my Chrome tab. I'm the worst video host ever on earth.
No, you're fine.
I'm geriatric, so please bear with me. Wrapping up the high impact open house. So let's talk about, again, for security reason, you want to put the house, actually I feel even better than in the way you found it when you were preparing for the open house. Am I wrong? How do you feel about that? Let's just give some advice to everyone about wrapping up the open house and then a little bit on follow-up. You want to do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
let's do it.
So, I mean, look, after you wrap up, everybody leaves. You make sure you lock that door and sanitize the entire place. Okay? Just wipe it down. You know what I mean?
Lysol
Wipe it all
and
down.
Clorox wipes, definitely.
100%. And make sure that you put the shades back down, because like Israel said, I mean, I agree with that. You want the natural light coming in, and even then, I stim the lights on in the house. You know what I mean? So you want to make sure close all the shades, all the lights off, leave everything clean, and that's the reason why it's gonna come out. It's gonna be left better than it was when you started the open house, because now you're hand sanitizing and you're Lysoling everything. Make sure you lock that door behind, and everything is good to go. That's really wrapping up.
How do you feel about latecomers and people? Because I know I run my open houses.
I have that. Yeah.
The allotted
time. Yes.
I don't know English. Sorry, allocated.
Okay. The allotted time.
I don't like to throw people out, but sometimes if you have an appointment right after, it's really like dicey. You don't want to be rude, but you have to go.
This is crazy for me to say, but I've actually had some of my best buyers from an after-hour open house.
Right. Would you come back? I mean, do you come back and show them that same day, or do you just set up an appointment for? I mean, depending on the situation, are you flexible or you like?
Depending on my schedule.
Yeah. I mean, if you're hosting open house for a hot commodity, you know what I mean? Like that alone, you're going to have to set time aside for that. And when I did my open houses, I had it strict from 1 to 3. I had 2 people booking in for 15-minute increments, but then I had to start at 12:30 because it got too jam-packed. And then I went longer till 3:30, you know what I mean? And even people still came after, and if everybody cleared, and then as long as showed me their pre-approval, showed me everything, and I had the docs there for them to sign, I'll let them. I had people and they didn't have that, and I don't lie, I told them I cut them in. Everybody on the line had sent me their pre-approvals, booked appointments, I have all their documents, and people were like, "Oh, but I just want to see it." Well, you could see it online. You know what I mean? There's a 3D. Matter of fact, here's the website. You can go see it online. No, but I have to see it in person. You should probably get pre-approved.
Yeah, and this is a hard that's like a hard hurdle sometimes for people to understand. It's like, oh, but I'm good. I got good credit. Yes, but we do have some responsibility to the home seller, right? We just don't want to. Well, yeah, same thing. What do you do with the neighbors? They don't have a pre-approval.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a
I let them in. Question. You're right. We have a question. What else did we miss?
So I guess letting them in, it would be a good thing. I guess what I question is 3. I have 2 questions for us. One, is it only in the weekends? Do you do open houses?
No, you could do what is called the twilight open house. In summer, I think it's great. Mondays are busy days, Tuesday, Wednesday. So from Wednesday on, not Friday, because it's Shabbat. But basically Wednesday, Thursday evening are great time in the summer, I believe, to have an open house, even until 8:30, 9 o'clock, because the days are longer, right? And people might be busy doing other things on the weekend. And I think those are great ideas. After work, end of the week, open house. Yeah, definitely, for sure. Ed, you do on that.
I'll be honest with you, I have not done a Twilight Opens. I've heard
Twilight Open
about Twilight.
That's a great name. That's
Twilight's
a
thing.
great concept.
You know, Twilight's not mine. I'm just, the wins are for the open houses. Look, you're right. You could do it at any time. I think it's a good idea. If you're starting out in the industry and you can link up with your associates, and if they have properties that you can get into, why not? Look, you might be sitting there.
Ed, you have a lot of fans. Everybody's asking, Ed, do you ask for the pre-approval for every property open house? Do you?
So for the open house that I was showing you, for example, yes. Every single person I had, if I showed you the list, for example, every single one of those people that walked into the house had showed me their pre-approved or their proof of funds.
Right. So I don't ask for the pre-approval for anyone coming to the open house, as long as they sign, and they sign the disclosures, I'm good. You can come and watch and anything. It's that if you're telling me you don't want to sign in, you don't want to give your name, you don't want to give your information, you don't want to sign disclosures.
Oh yeah, I've kicked several people out because of that.
Yeah.
They just left their name, no phone number or email. Yeah, Pete. Good night.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Somebody's asking if that's common practice for the pre-approval. Yes, it is. Again, it's do things as you see fit. Communicate with your seller, and just have.
You know what I like to use?
Yeah.
Look, you know what I like to use? The fact that we're going through the pandemic. When my clients hire, they want me to make sure that I'm showing the property to qualified buyers who are ready, willing, and able to purchase right there and then. That's who they want me to open the property up to. So if my client tells me, listen, I don't want anybody just coming to window shop, you know what I mean? That's why we have 3D tours. Then okay, that's what I'm gonna do. But if the property is priced right and it's located, the location is good, and no, it's gonna be a high commodity, I'm telling you, you set that up, everybody coming through is gonna call and say, I want to see the property. You just have to send me these at a time. And then you make note of it. I literally stopped people. There was a line in front of the house and I stopped people that were like, oh no, it says open house. Why can't I come inside? You know, you can't come inside. And I voiced it because every single person on this line right here made an appointment, sent me their pre-approvals, and I have all their documentation. So if I made them do it, why would I just let you come on in? And he was like, this is supposed to be an open house. This is right. I'm like, you know what? If you'd like, you can wait on the side. If somebody doesn't make it to their appointment, I'll go in and you have to show me the docs.
Again, this was an owner-occupied house, so you have less leverage when there is a homeowner living. You have many different components between the security and making sure you don't get lookers and you don't put your seller at risk, so it's understandable. On a vacant property,
it's different. It can be different, but at the same time, again, it's how you run your, how you conduct business. Everyone is different.
All right, so I guess we're gonna have to wrap up. We said we'll do it under an hour because everybody's like, that's too long. So next week, we're going to discuss following up, not only for open house, but following up with buyers or prospective sellers. I think it's that's one area where we all need work. Wouldn't you agree? We all need to always work on bettering our following up. No matter how much teaching and training we get, this is the thing that is redundant. Between my time management and my follow-up, this is what I need to work on the most. Am I correct?
I agree. I think what would be a good segue would be, now that we just held a high impact open house, chances are there's a lot of people that you have to follow up with. So maybe we can break down steps, how to follow up with the people that you showcased yourself and the house to.
All right. So until next week, Friday, 11 o'clock at the Alliance Movement Facebook page or on my my regular Facebook page, we'll discuss following up at the open house, after the open house, or for any type of situation, and we'll give out different scenarios, our opinion, what we do, what we don't do, right? Because it's good to show a little bit of vulnerable side and what we need to improve, because maybe somebody might take something out of it. Don't you agree? Because I am definitely not perfect. I've been in this business 257 years, as you guys know, and I still need to work on things. All right? So until next week, everyone. And
wait, hold on. Gigi, I think you said we needed a song. We need a song. Don't we need a song to close this?
All right.
All right, here we go.
We'll find a song. Everybody out there, please, why don't you suggest a song that we can get?
Perfect.
All right, guys. Until next week on Friday at 11. Thank you for watching.
You're welcome. That's awesome. Everybody's welcome.